Since November, you'll probably remember that Combs has been named in 8 civil lawsuits, 7 directly accusing him of sexual assault. CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister has all of this new reporting for us. Elizabeth, what more are you learning?
Good morning, Kate. So this is obviously the biggest escalation since those March raids on Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami. We are now hearing that federal investigators are preparing to possibly bring witnesses in front of a federal grand jury in New York City. What we have heard is that possible witnesses have been notified that they could be called to testify. Now, sources do caution that investigators are still in the process of gathering information. In fact, they are still calling in new witnesses, and they have called in some witnesses multiple times. We also hear that the majority of the accusers who have filed these civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs have been brought in for questioning, and again, some of them being called in numerous times. We hear that many are cooperating and even handing over evidence that they feel could be relevant into this federal probe. Now, a spokesperson for Homeland Security did not respond to our request for comment about the presence of a grand jury, but they did confirm that this investigation is presently ongoing.
Elizabeth, what are you learning about the evidence that investigators could be reviewing here?
So, as I mentioned, those federal raids that were conducted on his homes back in March, obviously a lot of people wondering what was seized. Well, we are learning now that federal investigators are in possession of video footage that was taken inside of Combs's residence. We hear that these investigators have been contacting individuals that they have seen on this footage. One person, in addition to the accusers who have filed these civil suits, is a male worker. That is what a source tells me, and that they have been brought in for questioning through these federal investigators. Now, when the raids first happened, we had a law enforcement source tell us at CNN that the investigation was largely based in which is what HSI specializes in. Now we are hearing that that scope has been widened and that investigators are really looking into all of these claims put forth in these civil lawsuits. That would include not just sex, but also money laundering and illegal drugs. I have a source who tells me, quote, "This is much bigger than just these lawsuits."
Sounds like much more to come. Elizabeth, thank you very much for your continued great reporting on this. Still ahead.
Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter. Yeah. Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it.
You image yourself after a gay painter. Your big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
so nobody tried.
What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
You got to look at the dude actions, man. His actions when Kim was alive. You understand? What action did he do?
When Kim lived on 70th something street, and I would go upstairs with Diddy, you could hear the shit in the hallway. And I would just shake my head when he come out or whatever, and Kim would be in the house. and it's always about where she was at or who she was dealing with. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna see you physically put your hands on nobody. I don't give a shit who you are, or I'm not gonna see you physically put your hands on her. You understand?
Even though it's been over 6 years since Kim Porter's untimely passing, the whispers around her death has surged back into the limelight thanks to the legal storm brewing around should Diddy calms. The mystery surrounding Kim's sudden demise, her intimate with Diddy, and her unfinished tell-all book have all fueled intense speculation. Did Diddy play a role in her tragic end? That's the million-dollar question now, as the spotlight tightens on Diddy once again. A close friend of Kim's has dramatically stepped forward, ready to dish out all the dirt. Could this insider have the smoking gun that ties Diddy to Kim's death, or is this just another attention seeker looking to grab a slice of the sensational Diddy drama? So what's the scoop on the tragic day on November 15th, 2018? The plot thickens with a chilling emergency call to the police about an unresponsive woman in her TCA, Lake California home. By the time the first responders burst through the doors, it was too late. Kim was already beyond help at approximately 11:40 a.m. The authorities pronounced the 47-year-old model, Kim Porter, dead. The news sent shockwaves. For the media, it was a bombshell no one saw coming. Why would a vibrant model and mother suddenly leave us so young? The buzz was instantaneous, and the mystery only deepened. The plot thickened when initial reports from TMZ threw everyone for a loop, claiming that Kim's sudden departure was due to cardiac arrest, a tidbit caught from an intercepted emergency dispatch call. However, just when everyone thought they had the story straight, a twist emerged days later. It was confirmed that Kim actually succumbed to lobar pneumonia after battling flu-like symptoms. The revelation left more questions than answers. Amidst this turmoil, Kim's family, including her 4 children and a devastated Diddy, were left reeling. Diddy took to Instagram to share his heartbreak with the world, posting, "For the last 3 days, I've been trying to wake up out of this nightmare, but I haven't. I don't know what I'm going to do without you, baby." His words painted a picture of a man lost in grief, publicly mourning the unimaginable loss of Kim. The community and fans felt every ounce of his pain watching this drama unfold with bated breath. Diddy's emotional outpouring didn't stop there. He continued to bare his soul on Instagram, expressing his profound longing for Kim. "I miss you so much," he confessed today. "I'm going to pay tribute to you. I'm going to try and find the words to explain our unexplainable relationship. We were more than best friends. We were more than soulmates. We were some other." His raw, heartfelt words touched a chord with fans everywhere. "And I miss you so much, super black love," he added, encapsulating their unique bond and the deep impact Kim had on his life. It was a moving tribute, pulling at the heartstrings of everyone who followed their story. Deeply connected lives the authenticity of Diddy's sentiments, left many speculating, but one undeniable truth is that the circumstances surrounding Kim's death were shrouded in suspicion. The mystery deepened as armchair detectives everywhere started piecing together their own theories. The drama escalated when the initial coroner's report dropped a bombshell. Traces of toxins were found in Kim's bloodstream, leading to a ruling of homicide. Then, in a twist straight out of a thriller, the original coroner was abruptly replaced. The new coroner revised the cause of death to pneumonia, stirring waves of disbelief and skepticism. Now, doesn't that just sound incredibly suspicious? Adding to the intrigue, there was a baffling delay. 2 whole months passed before the authorities released any information, without offering any explanation for the holdup. This delay only fueled more rumors and whispers of cover-ups. What really happened to Kim Porter? The plot thickens, and the truth seems just out of reach, veiled in layers of mystery and controversy. If the situation wasn't murky enough, brace yourself for another chilling twist. The first coroner, who initially found toxins in Kim's blood and suggested foul play, he died after being taken off the case. Coincidence? The timing is enough to make even the most skeptical raise an eyebrow. How many bizarre coincidences do we need before the dots start connecting themselves? Adding to the mess, the second coroner, stepping into a whirlwind of controversy, swept away any suspicion of foul play, even in light of the blood discovered on Kim's pillow and a telling trail leading to her bathroom. This puzzling decision only amplified the whispers and conspiracy theories swirling around. The big question that keeps circling back is, was there something so explosive in Kim's impending tell-all that someone, possibly Diddy, would go to extreme lengths to keep it under wraps? With each suspicious detail, the narrative of a simple, natural death becomes harder to accept. Are we looking in a desperate move to silence a revealing truth, the pieces of this puzzle are slowly forming a picture many find hard to ignore. It's a well-worn narrative that the rich and powerful can maneuver the shadows, crafting cover-ups that the average person could scarcely imagine. And when it comes to someone like Diddy, the idea that he might orchestrate something monumental isn't outside the realm of possibility. The public's appetite for true crime dramas and tales of high-profile figures seen in compromising situations only adds fuel to these fiery speculations. Adding an extra layer to this intrigue are comments from none other than Kanye West, who's pointed out Diddy's extensive network of influential connections. According to Kanye, Diddy's reach is such that he could potentially manipulate outcomes to his favor, escaping consequences that might ensnare others. And let's not overlook the symbolic weight of Diddy being handed the key to New York City. It's not just a key, but a testament to his power in standing within the elite. All these elements mixed together into a potent cocktail of suspicion and curiosity. If the official explanation of pneumonia as the cause of Kim Porter's death doesn't sit well with you, rest assured you're in good company. Doubts and disbelief continue to linger among those who were close to Kim, and many suspect that the full story hasn't yet come to light. The lingering questions and unresolved details have only deepened the cloud of suspicion. There was even a buzz that Kim's family considered taking legal action against Diddy, suspecting wrongful death. This potential lawsuit had tongues wagging, speculating about the pressures and possible revelations such a case could bring to the surface. However, mysteriously, the lawsuit never materialized, and no clear reasons were given for this decision. This abrupt halt and legal action has left many wondering what might have been revealed in court or what behind-the-scenes negotiations took place. The intrigue continues, and the plot only thickens, keeping everyone guessing about the true narrative hidden beneath the official story. The plot thickens further with ALB, Kim's ex-husband and father of her son, stepping into the spotlight with his own set of explosive claims. Despite their separation, ALB and Kim had maintained a civil relationship primarily for the sake of co-parenting their son. His connection to Kim meant he was deeply impacted by her untimely death. In an Instagram post after her passing, ALB shared a photo of Kim, accompanied by a cryptic caption that has left many scratching their heads and peering deeper into the mystery. She sent me this thing: life imitating art, art imitates life. Now it all makes sense. She told me other stuff too. She was running a marathon. He wrote this post not only heightened the intrigues surrounding Kim's death, but also suggested she might have been hinting at deeper, perhaps disturbing realities that were mirroring her life in unexpected ways. All's vague yet suggestive message has fueled further speculation and debate among fans and followers who are desperate to decode what Kim might have been trying to communicate and how it ties into the circumstances of her death. The mention of a metaphorical marathon perhaps points to ongoing struggles or challenges she faced, adding yet another layer to the already complex narrative. When ALB shared that Kim felt she was being chased by something serious, he told her to talk to the FBI because it sounded really dangerous. But right after he shared this info, All unexpectedly fell into a coma. This struck many as too strange to be just a coincidence. People started thinking it was very handy for Diddy that All couldn't talk anymore, especially if Diddy had secrets to keep. Then Jaguar Wright, who always speaks her mind, pointed out something spooky. She said that it seems like anyone who used to work with Uptown Records, where Diddy got his start, either died or almost died. Jaguar accused Diddy of being behind all this, which got everyone wondering if he was really involved in something scary. Now everyone's looking closer at what's really going on behind the scenes in the music world, thinking it might be darker than they realized. If Diddy thought putting ALB in a coma would silence him, he was wrong. All wasn't done sending cryptic messages to the world. About 2 years after Kim passed away, Jasmine and Brandt revealed that All was certain Kim's sudden death wasn't just due to pneumonia, that just didn't sit right with him. He was outspoken, saying that this is where I get in trouble. All pointed out that they had just celebrated their son Quincy's new deal and a Christmas special with Netflix, and Kim was in great spirits, laughing during an event where both he and Diddy were present. All left it at that, making it clear he was deliberately mentioning Diddy to express his doubts about the official story of Kim's death. His message was loud and clear. He didn't buy the pneumonia explanation at all. While Diddy faces intense scrutiny and suspicion from the public today, things haven't always been this way. Not long ago, Diddy was seen as a respected powerhouse in the music industry. However, Jaguar Wright and Albee aren't the only ones raising alarms about him. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, also came forward with some explosive comments about Kim and Diddy's relationship. He claims that Kim's experience echoed the allegations made in Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy. According to Gene, Diddy manipulated and mistreated Kim, and she never got the chance to tell her own story because she passed away too soon.
When Kim lived on 70th something street, and I would go upstairs with Diddy, you could hear the shit in the hallway. And I would just shake my head when he come out or whatever, and Kim would be in the house. And it's always about where she was at or who she was dealing with. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna see you physically put your hands on nobody. I don't give a shit who you are, or what. I'm not gonna see you physically put your hands on her. You understand?
Other sources have described Diddy as extremely controlling in his relationship with Kim. Considering Diddy's powerful status, it's perhaps not shocking to hear he might have treated his partner as if he owned her in such a skewed power dynamic. It's likely Kim felt pressured to tolerate more than she might have with someone less influential. This paints a troubling picture of what life might have been like for her behind the scenes. Kim and Diddy's saga began in the late 80s, but they didn't start dating until 1994. Before long, in 1997, Kim was pregnant with their first son, Christian. Their relationship seemed to be on the fast track, but it didn't last. Just a year after Christian was born, Diddy left Kim for Jennifer Lopez, and Kim had to learn about it from the tabloids, not even from Diddy himself. Talk about a harsh blow. Despite the public embarrassment, Kim stood strong. She wasn't about to let Diddy's new relationship shake her. In a fiery statement, she made her feelings clear. That relationship wasn't real. The world just saw the bright lights and the camera, but I knew what was really going on. He was still in love with me. He was calling 5060 times a day. Sometimes I wouldn't even talk to him because I was so angry I couldn't be nice. Kim, I had to be, you know, that be word like this is not going down. This revelation not only showed her strength, but also made Diddy look obsessed, especially as he kept a close watch on her even while dating Jill. Diddy's obsession didn't stop at phone calls. He was intensely interested in Kim's dating life, going to the extreme of having men follow her and report back on her activities. According to Mark Curry, Diddy even bugged Kim's phone to keep tabs on who she was talking to. These actions paint a picture of a man who couldn't let go, controlling and invading Kim's privacy in deeply inappropriate ways. Allegedly, while Diddy was still publicly involved with Jill, he discovered Kim's new romantic interest, Shakir Stewart, a well-respected lawyer turned record label executive. Despite this ongoing relationship, Diddy was reportedly furious about Kim's new connection. Rumors swirled that he insisted on a dramatic confrontation, arranging to meet Kim on a yacht to discuss her involvement with Shakir. The situation escalated quickly, culminating in a heated argument. Later that night, disturbing noises were heard from their cabin, with yacht staff members reporting screams. The confrontation reportedly ended with Diddy giving Kim a broken nose, an act of violence that marred their already tumultuous relationship. This alleged incident highlights the extreme and troubling lengths to which Diddy might have gone to exert control and express his displeasure, casting a dark shadow over his character and their interactions. Indeed, Diddy was faced with a dilemma after the alleged incident that left Kim with a broken nose, a visible injury that would certainly raise questions among the public and media. To handle the situation, he reportedly took extreme measures. He flew in a surgeon under the guise that Kim was merely getting a cosmetic rhinoplasty. This move was reflective of a pattern of behavior, as Diddy reportedly used similar tactics to cover up issues during his time with Cassie. As well, he seemed to have a calculated method for managing the optics of his private life, a strategy that involved erasing any trace of the incident, evidenced by the fact that almost all photos of Kim with a nose bandage have been scrubbed from the internet. Adding to the string of suspicious events is the tragic fate of Shakir Stewart, Kim's love interest, who was found dead in his Georgia home on November 1, 2008. Stewart's untimely death occurring amidst his connections with Kim and the alleged confrontation with Diddy presents yet another mysterious and troubling coincidence in the series of events surrounding Diddy leading up to his tragic demise. Stewart was reportedly consumed by paranoia, isolating himself and expressing fears of being watched. This unsettling behavior echoes what will be disclosed about Kim's state of mind before her own death, suggesting both may have sensed imminent danger. Despite the cycles of humiliation and alleged, Kim's entanglement with Diddy was complex and enduring. After Diddy split from Jill, Kim and Diddy reconciled, only for history to repeat itself in a painfully familiar pattern. While Kim was pregnant with twins in 2006, Diddy fathered another child with Sarah Chapman. The revelation came just 5 months before Kim's due date, shocking the public. However, Kim, well acquainted with Diddy's behavior, was prepared. It was alleged that she had hired a private investigator who broke the news to her before Diddy could confess, highlighting her proactive approach to dealing with his recurring betrayals.